We're joined now by the woman at the helm of the series, actress Rosalind Eleazar, in the studio. Lovely to see you, Rosalind. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
It is a twisty, turny, wicked, handbrake turny sort of thriller that we're absolutely loving. Properly devoured it all last night with Annie,
Brilliant.
and it was great. Just in case anybody hasn't got a sense of what it is, can you explain a little bit about what goes on?
Yeah, I can, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Not a lot. You're better doing it
In
than
Harlan
us.
Coben shows, anything that you say basically reveals the whole story. But I play Kat, who is a detective, and she's head of the missing persons unit. And she's incredibly good at her job, and she sort of immersed herself in her work after experiencing two really traumatic events in her life. One being her fiancé, Josh, played by Ashley Walters, brilliant Ashley, disappeared without a trace. And the second, her father was brutally murdered. And so she's been living with this pain for 11 years, and she sort of can't open herself up to love. So she decides to go on a dating app, and on this dating app, she discovers Josh.
The fiancé who disappeared 11 years ago.
Exactly, exactly. And so she is, her life sort of turned upside down, and she attempts to find him, and in that, secrets are unearthed, and life as she knew it is just completely turned on its head. So it's intense.
What I love about it as well is, obviously, you got married, you were going on your honeymoon, you said
This is
to
in
your
real
agent... In real life.
Yeah.
You said to your agent, you know what, don't get in touch with me. Leave me alone. I'm not going... And then this script came through from Harlan, and she was like, I've got to send it.
Well, yeah, they sent it, and they're like, we're really sorry, Ros, you're going to have to take a look at this. I was like, OK, great. So at that time, only the first episode was available, and I had to know what happened. So I downloaded the book, and I read it in 2 days, and I was sold. After I read the book, I was, I'm going to do this. And I always say that final chapter, you have no idea where the story ends up. It is so shocking.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. And, yeah, it was...
That nature of his novels is what has created such a huge, ardent pack of fans that are really, really invested in the books. And then, of course, the adaptations for telly as well. That comes with a little bit of pressure, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, he's just the king at weaving in all these storylines, and then they come to a head at the last moment. But I honestly don't know. I don't know how he does it. And we had this expression on set that you've been Cobened.
Right.
So every time you're going up the wrong path, we go, been Cobened.
Yeah. Because he came to set, though, didn't he? He came to set on the one
He
day.
did. Yeah, he came to visit us one day, and he's such a lovely man. Yeah, it was really nice to have him there.
And what an amazing cast as well. I mean, from Lenny Henry, Jimmy Nesbitt, Ashley, as you said.
Mark Warren, Steve Pemberton.
All those people. And then
I want more from Mark Warren as well. I feel
know, it was
Mark's character, you feel like there has to be like a spin-off because he just did that brilliantly.
Yeah, because he was just so casual with it.
Yeah.
Which made it so frightening. You know, he just didn't
really
care.
scary.
Didn't care about Kat.
But also for you to, like, lead the cast. This must be, and the fact that it's Harlan's work and the fact you're involved with it must just be amazing.
Yeah, it is, and I'm so grateful, and it is a pinch me moment, and I am so overwhelmed. You know, you get so much love. There's been so much love for this show, and you get all these messages, and you get messages from people in your primary schools, like, do you remember me from when we were 6 years old? And you're like, oh my God. It's like those things that, you're like, I'm so happy to see you, you know, #1 on Netflix, and Fool Me Once was such a you know, hit, and all of the Harlan Coben shows are. So I'm just so happy to be a part of it.
It was lovely. And then seeing Lisa Faulkner pop up as well, who comes in and cooks with us. And I mean, that, you know...
Totally. And then don't forget Matt Willis as well.
Matt from Busted.
I was listening to the radio and you were on with Emma.
Yeah.
And they were watching it together with their little girl.
Yeah, they were watching together, and I think she's at the age where she doesn't really understand that her dad is at work. So there's this scene right at the beginning that I'm on a date from Matt from Busted. To say the full Matt from Busted. And apparently she just gave the side eye to her dad, going, "What are you doing with that one?" "Oh, that's not mummy." And so they had to sort of explain.
He was busted, literally.
Yeah, he was literally
He was properly busted.
Yeah.
It was gripping, wasn't it? We loved it, and it's one of those things that you keep watching, and you watch all the way to the end, and like you say, we got Coben left, right and centre.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very happy to sit back and watch it happen, and he's one of those people who watches any sort of crime thriller and stops and says, right, this is what I think is going to happen, blah, blah, blah. And it just didn't happen like that. It was just, we've really enjoyed it, so
good.
amazing. Can we talk Slow Horses as well, though?
We can.
He's told me, I haven't watched this yet,
my days.
but he's like, you have to, Dealey.
Like a Slow Horses addict, working with the amazing cast there, but Gary Oldman as well. I can't imagine what that's like. Gaza, you're my Gaz.
Actually call him. No, Gary is so, well, obviously he's amazing, but he's also just such a good and kind man. He's so lovely to work with. He's so generous. You know, I've had a great year.
I mean, so generous that he gives very generous presents. Slightly unusual.
Oh, yes.
But we should point out...
He's very generous.
So his character... so the Slow Horses are a sort of group of misfit sort of spies
MI5.
that have been put out to pasture, but they can't get rid of them, and he heads them up. But he's questionable personal hygiene. He's a bit of a slob.
Yeah.
He sort of takes quite a lot of pride in smelling and smoking.
As the character.
Yeah, as the character. Which
Some people actually ask me, like, does he smell in real life? I'm like, no!
But what was this present that he generously gave you all?
So, yeah, in our first season, he gave us a fart in a jar. And I've actually got it on one of my shelves. Yeah. And it's like this little jar with a pink fart in it.
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
Yeah. Well, if it's Gary Oldman's or it's Jackson's, I'll have it. His character does that quite a lot. That's why...
He farts a lot,
yeah. He farts a lot in the series.
Yeah.
But that's that amazing thing that series has done, because it feels like an office drama, but it's all set in the world of espionage. It's extraordinary.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's so special about Slow Horses, it's sort of subverted the spy genre. Yeah. It's you almost go, oh, can we go back to the normal spy dramas now? Because there's such, you know, obviously they're extreme versions of human beings. You know, they're a lot to deal with. These Slow Horses. You wouldn't necessarily want to go for dinner with them, but. They are characterful and they've got big personalities and they make the spy world a little bit more human.
Yeah.
And it's not just, you know...
It's not just James Bond.
It's not just James Bond. So I think that's partly the reason why, you know, people are loving it. And also that everyone, you know, all of our characters, whilst we're all different, we're all really direct in nature. And so they might not be... immediately likeable characters, but because they're so direct, you feel actually very comfortable with them. It's like you always know where they stand with you. You're like, you look like whatever.
Yeah.
I don't like you.
Yeah.
You know, and actually that's quite comforting to be around.
It also shows how great you are at acting them as well.
You have had a brilliant year.
Thank you.
And well done.
Thank you.
Thoroughly deserved. It's brilliant.
Thank
you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. You can watch all episodes of Missing You on Netflix. Now make sure you do. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.